And remember, you can catch Morning Glory with Matty Johns every Friday morning from 9 a.m. on SEN. And the great man is standing by. Matty Johns, good afternoon to you.
Sugar missile. Hey, boys.
The Minnesota Viking himself. Here he is.
Yes, that is right, mate. The Minnesota Viking. I tell you what, boys. Isn't this Addin Fonua-Blake story a little bit strange? If you know,
Are we thinking early release?
Missile.
Is there posturing?
When he signed early at the Sharks, I thought it was a little bit of a, given how good everything was going at the Wars. And then I just think it's a bit of, I mean, it's very principled from Andrew Webster. But this is a big game from this week against the Dolphins, you know, and to to stand him down for not being there for the basically the post-match analysis and then the team song. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. There's obviously an attitude thing.
We had a look at his stats as well. He's about 45-odd minutes and 60 run meters in that game on the weekend. So it wasn't the best performance either. Yeah, right. Oh, geez, that's unlike him. Given in the last year and a bit, in my opinion, he's been the best forward in the competition. Yeah. So, well, yeah, I don't know what is going on there. Look, I don't want to say there's drama, but you know, as soon as that happened, the stand down, the first thing that crosses your mind is early release, don't you? That's what you think.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. And it's going to be fascinating how that plays out. Matty, who's the team? Every year you've seen a team who, you know, this stage of the year weren't really in the mix, but we always see one or two teams jump out of the ground. Who's that team or those teams?
The one that's jumping out of the ground a little bit. Well, there's a couple. One that is surprising everyone and continues to surprise everyone of the Dolphins. And you just go, right, how far can they go? Then they got to buy in the next month, but they got some pretty difficult games. I reckon out of those 4 games, if they can get 3 out of 4 and a couple of really strong performances in those matches, we might start talking about the Dolphins as possible top 4. You don't know. I think they'll definitely play finals. It'd be very strange for Wayne Bennett to go to a club even in their infancy, and in the 2 years that he was there, not make the finals. And so I think they're definitely going to play finals, just where they sit. Melbourne Storm have just come out of the ground. I didn't see them as a premiership, a really big premiership heavyweight this year. But boy, oh boy, they've proved they are. And to the other side is, of course, the Sharks. You know, it's interesting with the Sharks, boys. They had a bit of criticism about a month ago, people saying, oh, yeah, the Sharks, but this is soft underbelly. Wait till they play the top teams, had a soft draw. And the players have responded to that criticism, and they've really stepped things up. And as I've said before, I've liked the way that Fitzy's rejigged their football, more power-based game. But what's going to be really interesting this week and the next couple of weeks is how they respond to praise, because it's a totally different beast. You know, coaches love criticism of the side because it just sharpens the sword, but praise is a totally different thing. It very easily weakens resolves of teams and individuals.
Matty, playing Origin, how hard is it for these players, many on trial this weekend, when your name's been thrown around? You're not certain you're going to be in the side, but it's been thrown around. Maybe you've had conversations behind the scenes with the coaches. How hard is this weekend for players knocking on the door?
Yeah, it depends on the personalities, Joel, but it can be enormously distracting. Yeah, you're having your name thrown up, and 1 minute you got your head, your head by a short half head in front, and next minute you're a little bit behind. It's a bit of a guessing game. It's very easy this time of the year to become egocentric and just be worrying about yourself. You've just got to keep focusing on the team. You really haven't, and whatever happens, happens. And that's one of the things I like about Queensland and Billy Slater is, I think when someone was asked, is it going to be Dearden or Ezra, and they just came out and said, it's going to be Dearden straight away. Really? So, yeah, there was a little bit of talk up there. I was talking to someone the other day, and they said that might have been up north that it was asked who's it going to be, and they were fairly definitive there's going to be Dearden, as we would expect that it'd be Tommy Dearden. But it can be really tricky. It can be tricky for coaches as well.
If you're Michael Maguire sitting at the game tonight, he'd probably come out here to this, wouldn't he? What would you want to see from Matt Burton in his final Origin audition?
Look, I just want to see Matt be really, just to be in an aggressive frame of mind, Missile. And when Birdo, I've seen him last year. He'd wander around the field really passively, not really sure how to inject himself into the game as a 6. The first game this year, he was a little bit like that, but since then he's really picked up, playing an aggressive style of football. But one of the things with Matty Burton, right? You know he's in an aggressive frame of mind when on the last tackle he takes that ball and he doesn't try to place the ball, he just jams it. One of those big satanic bombs he does, one of those massive big torpedoes. Hey, Joel, I totally agree with you. I don't know whether he's lost his nerve on it or he's been instructed, just place the ball here. But I had a conversation with him once and I said, Matty, look, whatever, a little bit of advice, whatever counts. Mate, any time that you get anywhere near the halfway, don't worry, don't try to place the ball anywhere. And sometimes you'll shank one occasionally. Mate, just jam that ball, hit that ball as hard as you can. Because if I'm the opposition fullback, that's the last thing I want. It just turns games.
I couldn't believe. I just can't believe.
Not
when
one
I've seen
last
it
week.
No,
Not one.
I haven't seen one for a while. And Matty's right. Like if you're playing fullback and that cage kick, as they call it, comes along, you're going, oh, thank God for that. Oh yeah,
There's the cage kick that end over end.
It's the Penrith one where they put a metre out from the goal line.
Right.
Yeah, that's become the trend. That first started 2018. Roosters against Storm in the grand final. They hit the cage kick, hit Billy on impact, squashed play 2 and 3, and Storm couldn't get going. But and it seems like everyone is doing that now. With Birdo, I mean, that torpy is just such a weapon for the team, and I'd be encouraging him to hit it all the time. If I was Cameron Ciraldo, I'd say, listen, Birdo, I know if you kick. If you kick 10 of them, you're going to shank a couple. I can live with that. Mate, just jam them. Just keep putting them up.
Is the incumbent man of the match, is the red pen there yet, or is there still a pulse for Cody Walker?
I think there's still a pulse there.
Yeah.
I do, Joel. I think there's a couple of well-known bunnies that can play themselves in with a big game coming up this week. Look, I'm telling you now, people might be surprised. I would pick Latrell. I'd pick him there, and I'd back myself to get him right. Put him in there. He's got massive presence. He doesn't have to run as many Ks in the centres. He's a guy that can win it for you, and I'd just pick him. I'd have he and Crichton in the centres. Yeah, I would. People say, that it's crazy. He's not playing good enough. But look at Queensland over the years. There's like the Rowdy Shearers and certain players they picked that were playing awful, and you put them in the maroon jersey and away they go. I reckon Latrell, he's just got it in him, Latrell. I trust that he'd get it done.
What about the Panthers, eh? Papali'i, Tigers. Can I have a release? Yeah, that's fine. Penrith. No, you're not going to Penrith. It's a shrewd signing, isn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah. He's going to give a fair bit of depth there, experience, know-how. But, yeah, I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? Like going forward into next season, Penrith have got all this money. Roosters have got tons of money. But who are they going to get? There's not a lot of top liners on the market. So I think there's going to be a bit of wheeling and dealing going on behind the scenes.
What did Tommy Two Phones text you about the
Yeah, song? We never miss our man, he said. Right before Fafita backflips. I love that. Smug Roosters fan. Matty, we're all about light and shade here on the run home. Mm-hmm. So I had to check this with HR, but they've given me the green light to actually check your testicles live on air.
Oh, yeah. No, my testicles are fine. The younger bloke, he's in the... Hey, Coops. How's your... Mate, Missile wants to know how your cags. I said, hey, they're sore. Yeah, just come stand in the background. There's nothing against Joel and Jackie O's contract that said you can't stand in the background. Yeah, Missiles.
I'm allowed to do charity shows.
Okay, here.
Here he is, old Cagsy Malone.
Hey guys, how you going? We couldn't see below. I saw a clip on social media today, Joel. This is a peek behind the curtain of Cooper's life. Live on air, a doctor fondling his testicles. This morning, was that this morning?
Yeah, that was this morning.
And what was the diagnosis? Apart from below average size.
Apart from that I was slightly turned on, Well, the thing was, I actually got an ultrasound yesterday, so I'm currently waiting for the reports. He said it's not cancer, but that's in his expert opinion. So I'm waiting to see from the reports. I think it is. I think it is, guys,
Was
non-expert.
it all testicle, or did he grab a hold of anything else while he was down there?
No, he was all left testicle. I was holding my shaft over to the right-hand side, and he was kind of just playing around in the shallow end.
Very good.
Hey, listen,
Thank you, Coops.
he's got the bad one. Jack Johns, Jack's got the bad right one. Here, mate, your turn now.
Here he goes. Round the grounds, Jack Johns. Here he is out here.
I'm just
This is a
hoping
family epidemic.
I'm just hoping the Daily Mail get a hold of that. I'd love to see that as a headline for Cooper Johns. do you reckon they get many of their headlines from SEN?
Yeah, they get a couple. We say some controversial things at times. Probably more Fletch and myself putting our foot in it. So have you had the check as well? You've copped a knock, or?
No, I just get them checked regularly.
You've got to be on top of these things, don't you?
What's going on
Exactly
in your
right.
household?
Yeah,
how did the
yeah.
Johns family pull up after Magic Round? I saw you were doing a live show up there. Did you let the hair down together as well?
Yeah, we did. I actually took my girlfriend up there, which was probably a bit of an error. Took her to the Reg Reagan event. She doesn't know footy too well, and she walked in there and she was rattled. She just walked in and said, "What is this?"
She's British, isn't she?
No, she's an Aussie. She was living in
Britain.
Yeah. I probably would have told you this last time if I was a bit more talkative last time I saw you. Miss Ol.
We won't go into
What's
that.
on tonight, Jacko, in the Johns household?
Mate, I'm about to cook dinner actually. Trisha's away, so I'm cooking some Mexican up tonight. I'm the resident chef here.
Beautiful.
That's dangerous.
That's
Yeah,
outstanding.
yeah.
So just there
I'll
you go.
let the radio icon back on. Sorry, guys.
Rightio, Jacko. Thanks, mate. Who is, by the way, the brains trust behind Backstage when it comes to the Johns family podcast?
Yeah,
there.
Jack's the brains behind the operation there.
Who have we got coming up with that, Matty?
We've got Tommy Berry coming up. We did Campbell Graham today. We've got Matty Nable. We've done Nabes. Yeah, we've got a few.
Does the luck of the pack continue?
Sorry?
Does
Oh,
the luck of the parrot-
Yeah, we've got a lucky toucan in there, Gabriel. There's Gabriel and Lucifer.
What
They're the
about,
one.
I listened to the Jackie O podcast the other day, and at the end of the podcast, love to get Trish's thoughts on this. Basically, there was accusations of a bit of flirting between Matty and Jackie O. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right on, brother. Right on. It was actually, it was funny.
Well, Cooper was saying there was chemistry or something along those lines, right?
Before we let Matty go, why don't you hit him with your rank icebreaker question?
Oh yeah. So I was coaching at the gym this morning, Matty. All my coaches are sick, and I do an icebreaker at the start of the class, and you have to say, well, my question today was, if you could be any character from a movie or TV series, who would you be?
Yep. If okay, movie or TV series, I'd be the Fonz. Arthur Fonzarelli, the great man. The only thing worries me, he hangs around in public toilets all the time. He was a loiterer. That was his office.
Oh, no.
And I watched it the other day, and I must say that some of the women he was dating, put it that way, the series wouldn't happen now. It was,
Is that right?
But he was the Jerry Krause.
Oh, he was the Jerry Krause. He was the Jerry Krause. Now, Matty, before you go tonight, how do you see this? Dogs explode, Dragons bounce back out of the bye. How's it play it?
I'm going to go Golden Point. I'm going to back it for a draw because I look at both sides. Both sides can be a little temperamental and moody. They're pretty much evenly matched. I'm going to go for a draw, 19-1.
Ooh. Is Ben Hunt confirmed in this Queensland side? You know that Billy he hasn't had his best season, Benny Hunt. Does he need a big one, or he's locked and loaded?
I don't think so. I think with that great Queensland tradition, regardless of what happens, he's in. I tell you what, how good's Harry Grant playing? Oh, boy,
unbelievable,
unreal,
annoyingly good.
Yeah, it is annoyingly good. Some blokes are good at everything. He's a great surfer. He's a terrific bloke. Just share the talent around, please, Harry.
Is
he still single?
No, he's got a girlfriend now. But
right.
when he and Cooper lived together, they were footloose and fancy free. Times change.
Yeah, if Cooper would have been getting the hand-me-downs there just quietly.
Oh, really?
Wasn't it just remember simpler times when you're a young single man?
We can all dream.
Those are the times.
There is a thing
Have
called
a crack
divorce.
at Jackie O.
Yes,
Yeah.
50%, they reckon. Thank you, Matty. Well done, mate.
It's on your boy.
There he is, the great Matty Johns. We'll catch you tomorrow. Morning Glory.